Finally, it's time.
The latest,
ladies and gentlemen, it's the day. The day is today. Donald Trump's big day. Okay, let's put on our big boy hats and let's sit down. Let's sit our white asses down and listen. Donald Trump claimed that he was going to get arrested imminently last week on today. Take a look at what happened.
Former President Donald Trump claimed that he's going to be arrested later today. And while there is no evidence that that is going to happen, there are signs that the Manhattan DA is wrapping up an investigation into Trump's involvement in a hush money payment. Aaron Katersky is at the courthouse in downtown Manhattan. Good morning, Aaron.
Michael, good morning to you. This was the day former President Trump said he would be arrested. And while that seems unlikely to happen, the possibility of a looming indictment has this city on alert for protest. Overnight, former President Trump releasing an insult-filled statement on social media about prosecutors and Stormy Daniels after earlier making an unverified claim he would be arrested today, stemming from an investigation into a hush payment to the porn actress weeks before the 2016 election.
There's a lot of things that these people have said thus far that I have to address here, okay? Now, Trump did, violate the law. Now, it might come across as like an insignificant portion of the law, and that's, I guess, up for debate, okay? But, didn't Michael Cohen go to prison for this? For his involvement in the matter? Why would Trump not also be hit with a RICO charge if Michael Cohen, who was operating for him, went to prison? That's oh, your hitman went to jail, but you as the leader of the entire thing, you should deserve no scrutiny whatsoever. It's the same thing. I didn't hear these crying when Michael Cohen went to prison. Friend of the show, Michael Cohen, my boy. So I don't really understand. So the irony is people who are making it political are actually those on the right. Now, what do I mean by that? What I mean by that is they're literally openly stating no, you should, if you're Donald Trump, or if you are someone who is, a Republican at any given point in your life, you should be able to break the rules, violate the law, and do whatever the you want and be able to get away with it. And it's actually political if you call us out. So what's up?
But he didn't know exactly how it was going to be classified. He didn't know it was going to be classified, they're going to say, as legal expenses, which is the misclassification, right? Is this idea that this was hush money, but instead they called it legal expenses. And they're going to say he didn't know that it was being registered as legal expenses. This was nothing to him. It was just in passing. He wasn't paying attention, et cetera. The prosecution, of course, will come forward and say, we have evidence that Donald Trump knew exactly what this was about.
And we'll see. We don't know if an indictment is going to happen or not. But you say of all the cases that Trump is facing, this one would not be in the top of your list.
This is the worst one. Of all the investigations out there, you've got Atlanta, which is about overturning the election there. You've got the federal one, which is about the mishandling of the classified documents and obstruction of justice. There's a lot of evidence in those cases. This is about something that happened 7 years ago. This is about something where the Fed's already investigated. This is definitely the weakest of the group.
All right, we'll see what happens.
Yeah. So here's the reality of the situation. Okay. As far as things that hit Trump on, paying hush money and misclassifying it, paying hush money to a porn star after an act of sex work, and then misclassifying it as though it's actually, something different. Yeah, it's the lowest rung. I mean, it's one where he is objectively in the wrong, and people have gone to jail for it, right? The reason that this happened so long ago is because Trump's attorney general said that you can't prosecute a sitting president. Yeah, a sitting president. Yes. So there is that reality as well. Okay. There is obviously that reality as well. They blocked and pushed for as long as they did successfully. But it is kind of like putting Capone down for tax fraud, right? Nabbing him for tax fraud. There is a very real RICO case that's, taking place in Georgia at the moment. And that is around the phone call that Donald Trump had, the very perfect phone call that he had, where he was trying to desperately plead I believe, Secretary of State at the time to find some votes. The reality is he has done this a lot. There's a lot to hit Trump on. Donald Trump's defenders and people that worked under him and under his administration routinely blocked and pushed any kind of criminal investigation being conducted on him, even though he was violating the law all the time. They said he's the president. You can't do anything about it. This is political. Now that he's no longer the president, you could technically prosecute him for shit. And now they're saying, well, it's been 4 years. You didn't do anything back then. How dare you do something now, as though you weren't the reason why they didn't stop doing it. And then the other defense, that's my favorite defense, okay? My favorite defense is like, well, there's all these other things that he did that you didn't care about. It's like, bro, at this point, Donald Trump's like wanton corruption, they're using it like it's a defense mechanism. They're saying like, well, he did a lot of illegal shit and you didn't talk about any of that. It's like, that's not a defense, dog. That's not how that works, brother. That's not. Like, what do you mean? You violate the law, okay, and you get punished for it. That's how it works. That's how it works for the everyday man, the average Joe. That's how it should work for Donald Trump as well. Now, obviously, one of the things I got to talk about here is how much the right is, chirping in unison and going crazy. But the other thing I got to talk about is how little the left has been pushing for this. Now, do I think personally that this is like trumped up charges? Do I think that this is personally the weakest thing that you could nab them on? Yeah, I do. But if I was a Democratic Party operative, I would never say that. If I was a Democratic Party operative, I would do exactly what Republicans do all the time. Why do we give you money? What is the purpose for us to vote for you? Not me, myself included, but people that do. Why? If I was a Democratic Party operative right now, what would I be doing? I'd be screaming from the mountaintops that Donald Trump is so far removed from the everyday common person that he thinks he can not only get away and ruin the rule of law, despite running on the rule of law, claiming that he is doing this for the rule of law, that he very much believes that he's above the law. And the same Republican Party is defending that. Is it okay? You think that's appropriate? Sir, so much for the moral party, so much for family values. Explain to me where the family values are. I, for one, am shocked. This is disqualifying. I haven't heard any of this shit. All right, let's get content, baby. Let's get to the man, the myth, the legend himself, Donald Trump. Okay? Settle your Discord call beef in the Discord, okay? Maybe do it in front of a public audience. Maybe do it in front of a live audience. Ari literally is over here acting like XQC, being like, come on, dude. Do it on stream, dude. That's what he's saying, okay? I'm going to keep using a lot of XQC Trainwrecks analogies, I think, today. This is working in my favor. My man is glistening. He looks so orange. What happened, dude? Holy, let's take a look.
These 4 horrible, radical left Democrat investigations of your all-time favorite president, me, is just a continuation of the most disgusting witch hunt in the history of our country. It's gone on forever with Russia, 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 and Ukraine, 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 and the Mueller hoax. It's an absolute disgrace what's going on. They even spied on my campaign. And remember this, with all of the work that they did on Mueller, no collusion. That's what the answer was all no collusion. Whether it's the Mar-a-Lago raid or the Unselect Committee hoax, the perfect Georgia phone call, it was absolutely perfect, or the Stormy Horseface Daniels extortion plot.
Wait, Stormy Horseface Daniels? I don't get it. You fucked her, right? Wait, that's a self-own, isn't it? No, I don't understand. Wait, what? I ride horses, and I pay money to fuck someone I now call Horseface. I fuck the horsiest of faces. What does that mean? Ain't no way she gave Trump a buccal fat removal? The fuck? Bro, this is unleashed, dude. This is insane. This is so unhinged. The most unhinged thing ever. When they make Trump sexy like that, it blows my fucking mind.
They're all sick, and it's fake news. Our enemies are desperate to stop us because they know that we are the only ones who can stop them, and they know it very strongly.
This time, I miss him so much. Yeah, I mean, me too, man. Me too, me too, me too. Fuck. Here, before we get to this, let's hear it, because there's more fucking, anti-Trump protesters at that courthouse than there were actually Trump protesters, from what I understand, pro-Trump protesters. But here is another Trump supporter chirping on Twitter, because that's the only support that they're lending to Trump, it seems. Kind of fell off. I'm afraid to report. Very embarrassing. Not a good showing for Donald Trump, I will say. President Trump will be arrested during Lent, a time of suffering and purification for the followers of Jesus Christ. As Christ was crucified and then rose again on the third day, so too will Donald Trump. Violence is never the answer. Winning the election is. Vote for Trump. Even this guy's saying, like, you know, vote for Trump. Just vote. Just vote. Just vote. Just vote. It's like the Democratic Party being like, come on, just vote for us one more time, and we'll fix things. Meanwhile, Donald Trump is getting legal scrutiny. It's just like it does feel as though the Patriots are not waking up. Hillary Clinton is not in jail, and the Patriots are falling asleep.
We're better than that. We all are better than that. I think people here know it. And you've been following this president, this man who's a fake president. You've seen.
Yeah, look at that. These are more like. These are fucking anti-Trump people.
The issue is clear. It's politicized. It is a politicized prosecution, and this is a disgrace to our country, to our judicial system, to our legal system, that the leader of the opposition, the presumptive nominee for president, will be prosecuted, will be put in handcuffs, will be dragged in front of a court, especially out of an office that has refused to prosecute violent criminals.
I mean, they're so good at saying the exact same talking points, like in unison. You have to admit they're great at that. Like, it's like, oh, dude, by the way, there's other crimes happening. I don't know if you know this. It's like, wow, really? Okay, so what should we do? Should we not cover this crime then? Okay, got it. Is that your argument? Great argument, dude.
No prosecution, nothing. He's still the president. Such a joke. And then President Trump, they go after him for impeachment, for Russia scandal, for Russia, and for Ukraine, and for this and that. It's all over. Okay. If you arrest him, he will win in a landslide.
Dude, this is my favorite take. I've heard this a lot. If that's the case, why are you protesting him being arrested? Do you not want him to be president again? You want him to be president again. If he's going to win in a landslide, if you arrest him, then fucking don't protest him getting arrested. They can't even find like good schizo hogs. There's like, their numbers are dwindling. They got terrible form. They fucking fell off. There's more protesters against the hogs than there are hogs.
The amount of attacks this man goes under every day, and he conducts himself with dignity and has continued to press on. He's got a family. He's got a 16-year-old kid that people forget about. It's amazing how resilient he is, and I'm very proud to know.
Oh, he's got a kid, dude. He can't go to jail. Aren't these the fuckers who say if you can't do the time, you can't, if you can't do the time, don't do the crime? What's up? Where's that about? Where's that in this regard?